Wanyama, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Good,
Samuel,
good.
you're next. I have remembered. Samuel Kasoni, you will be next after Weston.
Okay.
Weston,
Thank
four
you so
minutes.
much. Wanyama, there is something called depoliticization. Depoliticization is where a government deliberately moves people out of politics into something called development or other issues that are considered to be harmless, where people don't raise issues to do with social justice, to do with the human rights, to do with accountability. So, in the Kenyan context, and I've said this before, is where people tell you, watch a siasa. And they will tell you, watch a siasa, whether it's in a meeting at a school, in a meeting at a church, or in a meeting at some football team. You are raising questions about accountability and how things are going. And huyu mtu ana siasa mingi sana. That's depoliticization. With the time, people tend to believe that raising questions and engaging in politics is a bad thing. You're a bad person, you're a troublemaker, and stuff like that. I'm saying that politics is it's through politics that people improve their lives. And it's through politics that people can destroy other people's lives. It's as simple as that. It's through politics that you can improve the economy and provide for what we are calling for on this platform we've been doing. It's through politics that you can take to France an Olympics team that will win not 5 gold medals, but 10. It's through politics. How you prepare the team, how you select the team, how you incentivize the team is through politics. That's why the other countries go there and grab all sorts of medals because it's transformative politics. So let us not shy away from politics. When somebody tells you that you're too political, what they are doing is that they are depoliticizing you. They want you to ask sweetheart questions, talk about sweetheart things, and not talk about things that really make people squirm in their seats. So let's get that clear. The other thing I want to emphasize is about emotion, Wanyama. Wanyama, emotion, let me tell you, it is what has been used by racists to characterize black people. Because black people dance when they're harvesting, black people dance when they're in sports, they dance when they're graduating in schools, they dance and they sing. That's emotion. When they're doing politics, they dance and they sing. That's politics. When they are sad during burial ceremonies, they dance and sing. They're emotional. And it's been used to characterize them as not rational. You understand? Not rational. So rationality is for the Western part of the world. Well, I can tell you, a normal human being is emotional as well as rational. You can't separate the two. You are emotional and rational. To push this point home, psychopath, narcissists, and people who subscribe to Niccolo Machiavellian ideology, political ideology called Machiavellianism, those are people who are emotionless. They have no sense of empathy, completely dead emotionally. You're too selfish, too self centered. You hurt people and you don't care. So please, let's celebrate emotion. Let's not tell people don't be emotional here. Let people dance, let people laugh, let people swear if they're annoyed. We want politicians who will swear when they're annoyed. Speak their mind. Yeah, that's being human. Please, let us not think to be emotional is to be backward or to be emotional is to be less human. In fact, not to be emotional is to be a psychopath. Yesterday, when I was reading social media, Wanyama, I was disturbed, but I was not surprised. And some of the speakers have really put those things into sharper focus. I can tell you one thing is that crowds are fickle. If crowds really mattered, this Raila Odinga would be president because he pulls crowds all the time. So why would people think that if crowds turn up to see a politician or a president, that says something about their political orientation or how they're likely to vote? Because Raila has always been pulling crowds, but those crowds never translate into votes. Well, he may differ with me and say his votes are stolen. But the fact of the matter is, crowds, human beings, when they're moving together as a crowd, it's difficult to disaggregate them and really tell what is it that is making these people dance or cheer this politician. It could be out of curiosity, like some of the speakers were saying. So please, let's steer away from ethnic stereotypes, ethnic innuendos, bigotry. Those attributes are counter revolutionary. On this space, I've heard people say, no, Congolese are taking jobs, Rwandese are taking jobs. I don't know. No, those divisions are counter revolutionary. A revolutionary is a person who's big hearted, because it's driven by ideas which, when they come into reality, will benefit everybody else, irrespective of where they come from. So this small-mindedness about a Luo here, a Kikuyu there, a Luya there, which is always laced with stereotypes, that kind of mindset must be dismantled. Which why? Tribe is different from tribalism. It's different. You being who you are, a Luo or an Igbo or a Zulu or a Muganda, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your identity. So you can't say I'm tribeless. I belong to a particular ethnic group from Nigeria or from South Africa or Botswana or Zambia or Kenya. That's your identity. That's your heritage. That's who you are. But if somebody uses that fact that you're a Muganda, you're a Turkana, to deny you a job, to deny your child a job at a school, not to bring development to your region, now that's a problem. That's the ideology we're fighting against. Honestly, it's not about tribe. So let's not run away from our identities. Where you find National Cohesion and Integration Commission comes out with very bizarre recommendations. Tarakaniti should be renamed, Nandi should be renamed, Meru should be renamed because they are carrying ethnic names. You ask, is that a problem? Okay, if it's a problem, what is England named after? What do people who are in England speak? They speak English. And who are they? The English people. What do you mean? What do you mean? And you can go on and on and on. So it's not, let's get these things into sharper focus. It's tribalism, the political aspect where politicians and other people in the bureaucracy use your identity, your ethnic identity, to discriminate against you. That's the problem we have in Kenya. But not the fact that somebody is from Maasai or Turkana or Mijikenda or Luya tribe. So even the fact that we are tribeless on this, I suppose, it's because we don't subscribe to the tribal ideology. Not that we're running away from our individual respective identities ethnically. I get you. Because it's like somebody saying, I'm colorblind. I'm a black person, but I'm colorblind. Well, race matters. It does matter. It matters in politics. It matters in the economy. It matters in sports. It matters all over the place. You've seen even the World Cup, FIFA World Cup, when African teams are playing and you watch keenly. But that was a penalty. Senegal or Nigeria, that was a penalty. They should have, no, they don't give them a penalty. But when some other team say, oh, direct, it's a penalty. What is that? You look at it and you think it's sports. It's not sports. Color matters. We want to eliminate these teams. None of them makes it, or only one team makes it to the second round. And when you, out of 5, only one team makes it to the second round, well, chances of winning the World Cup almost nil. So there are people over the years, and I see them, I read about them, they have completely disassociated themselves from Raila Odinga's ideology. And they supported him before. So we must take note of that what we are doing, the conscientization, it's having impact on the ground. Let's not be discouraged. People are changing their minds. They're seeing these politicians from a different perspective. And given a second chance, another chance tomorrow, next week, when elections will be held, they'll vote differently. As I learned, I've always heard about take civic education to the rural areas, to Mashinani and what have you. Wanyama, that is elitist. It's an elitist way of looking at things. And that's how the colonialists looked at us. People in urban areas are polished, they're sophisticated, they are modern. People in rural areas are backward. that are primitive, that are atavistic. Wanyama, I walk around Kenya in rural areas and I listen to people, even those mama mbogas, those boda boys, those young people at construction sites. I speak to them and I listen to the politics. Wanyama, they are as sophisticated as they come. I can tell you, they are. If you want to know, look at the caliber of our representatives in parliament and tell me that our politicians from Nairobi are any qualitatively better than politicians from rural Kenya, or politicians from urban areas in Mombasa are any qualitatively better than politicians in some rural area in Kenya. Name it. They are not. They're all sycophants. They all take advantage of people. They're all, for the take. So it's not like there's a part of Kenya that needs to be enlightened more than the other. It's not. We've all failed in the past. Kileleshwa, what? It's got an MCA. This MCA is just a mouthpiece, just supporting
President
the government
Malizia,
of the day. Onyama, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please land.
Yes, I'm landing. So it's not. We have had governors in Nairobi who, I mean, you wonder who elected this person. So Wanyama, it is a collective effort. And no Kenyan really has got answers or sees the problems better than the other. That's why we come together, people in urban areas, people in rural areas. We put our thoughts together in a concerted efforts and find a way out of this morass, lest we entrench the colonial mindset and schema that they left us with, ethnicity, rural urban divide, and what have you. Thank you.